can't be free. Everybody wanna judge, say I'm a thug, I'm a player, I'm a simple, why I can't be me? When I walk up in the store, all the Karens get to staring at me. Put my heart in my music, it's still on my sleeve. Everybody been portrayed. So fam, what's the word? It's your boy Spiritual Trey, and that is now episode 41 of the Soulful Thoughts blog. Now today, we gonna be attacking the 9-step series, but you feel me, this is more so a part 2 to one of them videos in the 9-step series. Today, we gonna be talking about detachment, right? The 9 steps to detaching from parental trauma. You know, the way we were raised and everything. Now, before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You feel me? Your boy is starting to, pile on them videos now, family. So it'll be a lot easier for y'all to get me in the algorithm now if y'all really want to, now that my videos starting to pile up. So if y'all really want to see y'all boy views getting up there, you feel me? A lot of y'all always telling me how much y'all fuck with the channel. Help other people, you feel me, find this information so their life can change too. You feel me? But nah, enough of all that though. Let's jump right into it. Now, what is step 1 to detaching from parental traumas and generational curses? Step 1 is to become more self-conscious of how you were raised. You feel me? Become more conscious of the good and bad aspects that your parents brought to you and you guys' relationship as you was growing up. Now, of course, not everybody got their, mom and dad in their life biologically anyway. So whoever raised you, just, put them in that place, whether it's your grandparents, foster parents, whoever were there to raise you, put them in that place. Just sit down and just, do some shadow work and think to yourself, all of the, characteristics that you have personally, all of the insecurities, the character flaws that you may have, and try to find the source of your character flaws. I guarantee you it's gonna lead to, your childhood and how you were raised anyway. You feel me? Just find the certain things that your parents did. Because you look, even if you had parents that were super loving, wanted to see the best for you, and in totality were great parents, like my parents. I'm gonna throw myself on the cross and use myself as an example. My parents, for example, right? My parents are loving parents. They both want to see the best for me, and overall, they are great as parents, right? But because of certain generational curses, both my parents have, different flaws that might have, I ain't gonna say held me back, but they damn sure stopped me from moving forward the way I was supposed to. And trust me, even if you got some loving ass, dope ass parents, I guarantee you can find some type of flaws in how you were raised. Like they could have been doing everything they were supposed to in terms of, keeping clothes on your back, keeping you fed and all that type of stuff. But did they really, encourage you to reach your best version? Like, was your parents interested in, helping you find your talents? Helping you find what makes you unique? I know my parents, that might have been a flaw that they had. My parents did everything they could for me, but because of certain generational curses, because they parents weren't self-conscious enough to do certain things, they weren't self-conscious enough to do certain things. You feel me? Like, my parents, they always told me I can be what I want to be, don't get me wrong, but they never actually pushed me in anything that I was doing. You feel me? Like if I was actually, like when I was in the basketball, I can count one time, you feel me, on one hand how many times, my parents actually showed up to a game or something like that. And that's just a little small example, you feel me? I'm pretty sure if y'all do enough shadow work, y'all gonna find some things, even if it's, something as simple as, maybe your mom didn't have a lot of emotional intelligence, so when she got mad, she might have called you certain names, might have hurt your feelings a few times, but at the end of the day, she was keeping you with the best clothes, best food in your belly and shit like that, cooking for you every day. So you feel me? So no matter how good your parents are, you're gonna find out something. So that's step 1. Find out the good and bad aspects of how you were raised. Now, step 2 is the hardest part of the process, right? Because this is when you gotta just go through the pain of whatever traumatic experiences you went through with your parents or any older person in the family that you look up to. You feel me? Maybe your parents were abusive. Maybe they abused you in some type of way, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever it is.
Whatever happened with you and your parents, or maybe they just weren't there. You feel me? Maybe you go through the pain of not having your parents actually there. Maybe they were alive and around, but just shitty at their job. Whatever it is, I know you still got some pain from that shit. And I know you've been holding it for the majority of your life, right? I want you to tap in to them deepest depths of your soul and go through the pain of those experiences. Let that shit flow. You're going to do a whole lot of fucking crying, because this is literally the source of most of your character flaws and your insecurities. So it's going to be the toughest battle ever. You're going to go through depression for a little while, going through, if you allow yourself to do this every night, where you just allow yourself to get time to yourself to release all of the pain you've been holding back all of these damn years. And listen, if y'all need to go to therapy, because I know for a lot of people, it's just nearly impossible for them to do this by themselves. Get to themselves and allow their mind to get into a space where they really don't want to be. So, like I say, it's professionals out there that can help you tap into these spaces where you release past built up pain. They call therapists and life coaches and shit. Hire you somebody who can help you deal with this process. Because like I say, this is the toughest part of the process. Not ignoring your pain and actually going through it. Now, step 3. All right. Now, step 3 is intertwined with step 2. This is the perception control part of the process. Now, depending on what certain situation you have, with your parents, that's going to determine how easy or hard step 3 really is. Like if you've been through very traumatic situations to where your parents have intentionally abused you, it's going to be a lot hard to find a healthier perspective on what happened to you in those situations, right? But if you more so got a great relationship with your parents, but they just had their own little character flaws, it's a lot more easier to, transform your perception on the character flaws they did have, right? And see the good in them. Now, for those of you who situation with your parents is not as traumatic or anything like that, you guys just have to find the source of your parents' character flaws, right? So if your parents didn't push you forward with your goals or support you with your goals the way you wanted them to, if you look at the way that they were raised or the environment that they were in, you might come to an understanding of why they were in a space to where they really couldn't, you feel me, support you the way that you wanted them to. Or, if it's a situation where your parent just used, verbal abuse, you feel me, they verbally abused you, but at the same time, they were great parents in other aspects. So the fact that they were a great parent in any aspects, right, showed that they cared about you, right? They had good intention in their heart with you. So because of that intention, because look, it's all about intention with certain shit, right? Because of the fact that they had pure attention for you, I would try to, keep a relationship with my parents and understand why they had the flaws that they had. Because look, as the younger, wiser spirit, you're supposed to be able to find the source of your parents' flaws and find ways to not judge them for their flaws, because you have your own flaws that your kids will notice and will, you feel me, call you out on one day. So don't be no hypocrite and, you feel me, just judge your parents so harshly, like your kids not gonna have something to judge about you. Ain't nobody perfect. And ain't nobody got this parenting shit perfectly down pat either. Trust me, you're going to have your flaws. So try to understand your parents' flaws if they had good intentions for you anyway. Now, for the people who parents didn't have good intention for them, at that point, y'all got to show them motherfuckers that y'all don't need them, right? Now, use that grudge energy to your advantage, because it ain't like you can just make it disappear, right? So use it to your advantage. Use it as like a motivational point. Like, yeah, I got this little grudge with my parents right now, but I'm going to let that shit motivate me to reach my best self. To show them motherfuckers that I really didn't need them to become the person that I'm destined to be. You feel me? Over time, that grudge energy gonna wear off. Think about it like this. I know y'all think holding a grudge against somebody is hurting them, but let's keep it real. If these people didn't even care about you enough to not do the shit that they did to you, why would they truly care about you holding any type of grudge against them? Even if they do care, even if you think they do care and you are hurting them by not talking to them or having a grudge against them, Do you honestly think it's hurting them more or hurting you more? The fact that every time you think about them, your spirit get uneasy, your blood pressure rise. You think that's hurting you more? I mean, you think that's hurting them more or you more? So holding a grudge, really not doing nothing but stressing yourself out, right? So try to transform that grudge energy into motivational energy. Anybody that cross you, you shine. That's your revenge. Shining. And leave their ass in the darkness. Now they getting jealous. Now they getting all these types of energies to where they might start feeling self-doubt and self-guilt about the shit they did to you. Boom, you just got your revenge without even trying, just from working on yourself. You feel me? Now, that's step 3, perception control. Find a way to ease that grudge energy in y'all heart. Now, step 4. Step 4, if possible, get to know your parents a little more. You know, once you grown, you know, the relationship between parent and child it develops the more the child gets older, right? You know, you get to talk about your parents more, about stuff that they didn't want to talk to you about when you were a child. So no matter, you know, even if you and your parent got kind of a bad relationship, like, it'll do you justice with your healing if you just, if possible anyway, just find a way to talk to them. Try to get them to open up to you about how they were raised and, you feel me, the type of environments they grew up in, and try to let them explain themselves on why certain things happened with y'all. You feel me? For one, it's going to help you with step 3. It's going to help you with the perception control part of it. Really, step 3 and 4 is kind of like intertwined too. But yeah, if possible though, find a way to actually talk to your parents. I guarantee you it's going to bring y'all so much closer. Even if y'all don't have a relationship right now, I guarantee you it develops some type of relationship if they open up to you anyway. It's at least giving it a chance, you know? Now, step 5. Now, once you do steps 2 through 4, you officially at a point where you understand, understand, and overstand your parents more than you ever have, right? So now, step 5 is to stop judging. Stop judging your parents for the flaws that they have, whatever the fuck that they've done to rub you the wrong way. Like I say, unless they've done completely outrageous things, you feel me? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Unless they've really, really, truly crossed that line, stop judging your parents. You feel me? Once you stop judging them and they stop feeling that judgmental energy, now both sides are more open to coming together and rekindling the flame that was lost when you were a child, right? Right, so step 5 is super easy. Just use the knowledge you have to stop judging your parents. Now, step 6. Step 6 is to take time to work on the parts of yourself that were negatively influenced by your family. Just off the strength that once you do get to a point where you making the correct adjustments to yourself, you becoming a better person, you getting rid of generational curses, it's going to be so much easier for you to stay in alignment with step 4, which was to stop holding a grudge, right? It's going to be so much easier for you to stop holding a grudge if what your parents did are no longer holding you back. You actually might get to a point where you feel like them doing what they did forced you to go on a path that made you stronger, because you had to do a lot of things yourself, right? Right, so you might even, appreciate the fact that you had to go on the path that you did. Like, you might love yourself a whole lot more because of the fact that you had to find yourself on your own and do all of these things, and you kind of like the head of your family. Because if you the one that came into the family, developed a deeper understanding of your parents than they got for themselves, forgave them for all of the goofy shit that they did growing up, and took all of the influences from the goofy shit they did and transformed that shit into the person that you are now, you the golden child of the family. Like, why not be proud of that? You wouldn't have been the golden child if your parents were already golden childs and they just passed it down to you, right? You feel me? So that's step 6. Step 7 is to find your own tribe that has the qualities that your parents might have lacked. Basically, any qualities that you feel like your parents should have instilled in you, even though you might not even need those qualities instilled in you no more, find you some friends with those qualities though. You feel me? Find you some or other family members that you end up connecting with, but just find some people with the qualities that you feel like your parents lacked. Cause you having that energy in your life, trust me, it's just gonna make it a whole lot more easier for you to forgive and move on from the, you know, the past traumas, mistakes, anything that your parents might have did in the past. You feel me? So surround yourself with the energies that you didn't have growing up, basically. That's step 7. Now step 8. Now, most of us naturally do step 8 just because it's just a natural human reaction, but still, it's still part of the process. Step 8 is to make a plan to raise your kids the way you want it to be raised. Let me say that one more time. Make a plan to raise your future kids the way you wish you were raised. Not the way you were raised, the way you wish you were raised. So whatever your parents didn't do, put an emphasis on doing that for your child. If you didn't have a relationship with your parents, put an emphasis on having a close-ass relationship with your child. You feel me? I'm pretty sure y'all was already going to come up to that conclusion anyway. Just make it show, though, because that's definitely part of the process. Now, step 9. Step 9 is, if possible, if they still around, thank your parents. Because guess what? No matter how bad of a job you think they did, that bad job that they did nothing but place concrete over you, right? It placed cement over you. But guess what? Now you are the one rose that actually grew out the fucking concrete. You more special than any other flower on the block at that point. Cause you been through the most shit, had the most trial and tribulation, had the toughest obstacles to get past, yet here you are, shining, going after your best version, not letting whatever happened to you stop you. If it wouldn't have happened, you wouldn't be in this position, right? So, even if your parents' intentions were terrible, if possible, thank them. Like, you know what? I thank you for being the piece of shit person, piece of shit parent that you are and were. Because if you weren't that person, I wouldn't be as beautiful as I am today. If you weren't as ugly as you are, I wouldn't be as beautiful as I am today. You feel me? Y'all come to that conclusion and really feel that shit. Once you get in that space to where you truly thankful for the storms you've been through, the sunny days seem to shine just that much brighter. You feel me? Those are the 9 steps to getting past parental trauma and generational curses. It's your boy Spiritual Trey signing out. Remember, you are not your mind. You are the spirit that created your mind. But growing up, we did have millions of influences around us helping us create our mind too, right? Don't let someone else, even if it's a parent, be responsible for the way you think and how you look at life. Develop your own mind. Understand why the influences that were around you. Come to an understanding of why your life played out the way it played out. And you're going to realize the beauty that really is life. You feel me? It's your boy Spiritual Trey signing out. Love you, family.
On the beat, start preaching. Feel no evil, see no evil, but peep it. I don't aim for the stars, I want leeches. And the snakes born, I'ma kill the whole species. Rest in peace to all the peaceful preaching. The youngest wildin', but they say they evil, that's kinda reaching. Who really controlling the way you thinking? Find the truth.